Hello, this is my week 5 presentation where I'm going to be discussing games and manipulatives together to teach a math lesson. This week we're going to be focusing on factoring numbers. I found a great game by Laura Candler, which I've adapted into this lesson today, and you can find her webpage under my reference list. The game involves students using the base 10 counting blocks to find the factors of a number in a timed exercise. So how the game works is the students will be put in pairs, and each will be given one whiteboard and one whiteboard marker. And each of them will be given a list of 3 numbers to factor. So each list for each student is going to have different numbers. However, each number is going to have the same amount of factors. So for example, I have an example list of 17, 10, and 98. 17 being that it's a prime number has 2 factors, 1 in itself, 17. 10 has 4 factors, 1, 2, 5, and 10. Got confused there. 1, 2, 5, and 10. And then the number 98 has 6 factors, 1, 2, 7, 14, 49, and 98. So each list that the students will have, they'll have 3 numbers, and each number will have the same amount of factors to keep the game as fair as possible. So each student will be given a list, and the timer will start, and the student who will not be working will read the first number to the student who will be working. The student will either go from memory if they know what factors are there, or use their manipulative blocks to find the factors of the given number. I'm thinking of allotting about 2 minutes for this activity. The student will write down the factors on their whiteboard, just like this, leaving enough room for the rest of the game. The timer will end, and the students will switch. So the next student will have the whiteboard, and the student who is just working will read their first number, which will also be a prime number, so the number 11, the number 23, and that student will write down the number in the time allotted underneath the original one. That's the end of round 1. The students will tally up how many factors that they found, and show them to the teacher. Round 2 will begin with a little bit more challenging factors. So the students will switch again, and student number 1 will find the factors for the number that student 2 will read to them, like so. Student 2 will do the same thing in their time allotted, and then they will come up with the correct, or they will tally up the number of factors that they found. Now, if the students, which student has the most amount of correct factors will earn the point. If both students found all the correct factors, both of them will earn a point, but if neither of them found the correct factors, then neither of them will win a point. At the end of the game, there will be 3 rounds. At the end of the game, whoever has the, whichever students have the top 3 scores will receive a prize. So if the entire class has 100% answers, then everybody in the class wins a prize. So I'm not going off of which students have the best scores. I'm going off of which scores are the best and which students have those scores. And that is the game.